It's time for Milberger's Gardening South Texas, live from Milberger's Landscaping and Nursery at 1604 in Bulverde Road. During the next 2 hours, our experts will help you with your gardening questions when you call 210-308-8867. That's 210-308-8867. Or come by Milberger's during the show and have your question answered in person. And now it's time for Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Alex Escobar here with Dr. Calvin Finch and Mark Peterson on a very warm, very sunny, very bright 4th of July. We're out here celebrating. We have a lot of sales that are popping off here at Milberger's. We'd love to hear from you. Give us a call at 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867. Happy 4th of July.
Same to you,
yes.
Yeah. Pretty interesting. We were just commenting, though, we keep hearing about all the traffic and action, but I haven't seen it yet.
Nothing yet. Definitely heard fireworks last night, so people are already celebrating out there.
Did you? Was there fireworks last night?
There, yes. In the city, but I mean, not supposed to. But
my dogs when they were younger, it never bothered them. Now that it does bother them. But I pull my hearing aids out, and the only reason I know that there's fireworks is if the dogs come and wake me up and say, "Hey, Dad, protect us from those. I don't like those noises." So, we had a wonderful 4th of July celebration at our neighborhood this morning.
Nice. Parade
and lots of fire trucks and police cars and lots of neighbors, youth. Mm-hmm. One of our neighborhood, Mark's pretty familiar with our neighborhood, but 15 years ago we thought there would be nobody left by now because we were getting so old. But it was amazing. The event today had a lot of youth, and some of them were grandchildren and neighbors and adjacent neighborhoods. But it also we've had a lot of young people move into the neighborhood too, so it's kind of cool. Quite a difference. Easier to learn about computers and communicate if you've got a variation of ages in a neighborhood. That's fun. I'm hoping that, and I'm sure that most neighborhoods that had a celebration had the same experience as we did this morning. So, No trees fell down, Mark.
No.
It's been a while, at least 2 or 3 weeks since it.
I don't know. We had a lot of clients that had trees down over the past couple of weeks. But anyway, not so much lately.
Knock on wood.
Knock on wood. Knock on trees. I don't think there's any rain in the forecast. Maybe one day next week. We are now entering the drought period. We're entering not only a place of sight and sound, but of mind.
Well, we're only about 18 feet away from the average.
Yeah, and it's going down. I've been looking at the last couple of days in the paper, and it's going down, down, down. And I say to everyone, why? What are you watering? Well, we're watering our vegetables primarily and some of our flowers.
Huh. Well, I've got some neighbors that are generally wonderful neighbors, but they kind of throws me a bit when they're the day after rain they're watering the lawn again.
Yeah,
I've given up watering lawn,
yeah.
but I have to admit I do use quite a bit of water on the vegetables and flowers, lots of flowers. Lots of fruit trees. So, but gosh, with the rain now, I'm thinking that I was trying to assess my landscape, and I think sunflowers and pigweed are the dominant plants now in my landscape. They germinate quickly, and then they make use of that moisture, even when there's not much soil there for them to use for a reservoir.
Yeah, I think that we're going to have an outstanding year for ragweed and pigweed this year. I think it's going to be outstanding.
Yeah.
Now pigweed is interesting. If they could ever figure out a way to make that a viable crop, because that's in the amaranth family, and maybe you could make a cereal out of that, a grain out of that. I don't know.
Yeah, it produces a lot of seed for sure, and the foliage too seems to be attractive to all kinds of insects, but easy to pull up as long as you get to it before it gets taller than 2 feet.
Yeah,
2 feet. My goodness.
It's going to develop a large root system.
Now, I was kind of assessing how do you control, or it is kind of a pioneer species. I mean, it really prospers in that situation like we've had, where a drought and you got bare soil, and then suddenly you have rain because the seed seems to be sitting there waiting for action, and it comes up fast and hard. So I guess it would respond to pre-emergence, but also it doesn't seem to compete well if you got some kind of surface weeds too, other plants that come up before. So kind of if you got any kind of moderate rainfall and you have normal lawn grass or any kind of weeds, the frequency of that pigweed is reduced. Lots of different varieties, species.
Yes, that is true. The easiest way for anybody to see what it is you pull up to a stop sign, and if it's sunny, you look to your right or you look to your left, and there will be one. I always see it on next to a highway frontage road, and you pull up right before you get on the frontage road, and there it is.
Some of them got little thorns on them.
Yeah.
Just to remind you that there are lots of survival mechanisms.
Now, you can speaking of many different varieties and forms, we have some ornamentals out here. It's brightly red.
Oh, yes.
Commonly called coxcomb, celosia. It's also in the amaranth family. It's a big family. So.
We used to go that. Yeah, it used to be a more prominent plant up north.
No.
Yeah, gosh, it was relatively easy to grow. Kind of in the same league with zinnias, where down here it doesn't prosper as much in that heat, I guess.
Yes, it is a limited time frame. You're thinking like Easter to June to Flag Day. That's about the time that it does well.
Now, surprisingly, the pollinators really like it too. So, in that same league with zinnias there. But our article today, we've talked a lot about this, but it's time. Tomatoes. We're at the point with very high production of tomatoes after those rains. Generally, get them harvested. Let them. I was going to say let them ripen. The remaining ripening on the counter in your kitchen, but then I kind of hesitate there because those those little gnats look kind of like that
yeah.
too. So that's you're kind of compromise there. But with the yield as large as they've been, there's quite a surplus of tomatoes available. But then you're going to pull the plants, and if you don't have any spider mites on them, which we haven't seen many, and gardeners are not reporting spider mites, but then you can put them in the compost pile. Hi.
1 second, we have a guest here. Yes, sir. Do you have a question? Yes, sir.
Yeah, we can't hear you unless you got the mic. So.
Yes, sir.
So I got this red oak at the house, right? I got some leaves
A red oak?
like this. Maybe y'all could tell me. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Maybe you could tell me what's on these leaves here.
All right. Okay. Well, what we have here is a Shumard oak, and you know how I feel about Shumard oak out there. It's a roll of the dice. Sometimes you get good ones. Sometimes you're going to get yellow ones. So this is a little rust on there.
Okay. So this is the first
it's a
year
little
you got
fungal. It's a fungal disease.
Okay.
What's a little bit different than the last couple of years we've had?
Okay.
We finally had some rain, so it's weather induced.
Okay.
I'm not going to worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
Oh yeah, but I am going to worry about your yellow leaves. This is a good solution. We have some Super Thrive out here. Super Thrive. But yeah, I was going to look for something that has some iron in it as well. Okay.
So can I use it on all my trees?
Well, the ones that are showing the chlorosis, that's what we call it, chlorosis in particular. But yeah, it's good for anything.
So I have a tree like, I guess it's like this. The same thing as Steve, the leaves start in yellow like.
A live oak
Texas,
that's turning?
Texas live oak, yeah. It's not dark green like it's supposed to.
Whereabouts are you located? A general area?
Yes, I'm in shirts.
Okay.
15, 18 off of 10.
I was going to guess that. So you have a heavy clay soil.
I do.
And sometimes when it gets waterlogged for a while, the tree has a problem producing or absorbing the iron.
Okay.
Iron and nitrogen. Just give it a little bit of nitrogen for all the trees, and this will also work well for all the trees.
All right. So a little nitrogen.
Be a little. How long have you had the Shumard?
5, 6 years.
Yeah. See, I'm the optimist. He's the negative person. I think you can help it along. Now, it's not going to have a long lifespan because, again, it's a red oak over in that heavy clay soil.
And its history or its development is from acid soil. So it's here and it's trying to live in this soil and get up. You know, as Mark said, it's having trouble getting those nutrients up out of there.
Okay.
So quite often, the life is quite short as it gets into some of our severe weather. It has even more of a problem getting up the nutrients, and they decline pretty quickly.
Okay. Any other fertilizer y'all recommend for these trees I got?
So we recommend the one that's sold here is 1959 Milberger's, and that is a good one because it has sulfur and iron in it.
Okay.
But you can use it for your lawn, the beds, vegetable even.
Yeah, that. Well, and the other is that.
I used to use this every year. I didn't get a chance to put it down this year.
Don't tell me it's... Yeah, that's similar.
Similar?
It's similar. It's a, what's that?
Sorry, it's not mine.
19.8.10.
Yeah.
So the only thing I like about ours is it has, I don't know about that one, but ours here is half fast and half slow for the nitrogen.
Okay.
Plus it has that sulfur and iron in it.
And what's the name of it?
What is
Just
it?
1959.
It's the Milberger.
1959.
Yeah, Milberger's premium lawn and garden fertilizer, and it's
Okay.
the
Let me go
1959
look
mix.
for it.
Yeah.
I appreciate you
So
guys. on the hill.
yeah, a little dab will do you. Okay.
Little dab will do.
You know, you
I
see
will
how
do.
it is. So a little dab will do you.
Little dab will do.
But people swear by it. I can't swear by it, but I have seen some interesting things, benefits.
I have a real young tree. I'm gonna try it on that one.
Okay.
While I use it on my
Yeah,
big
there
tree.
you go.
And big trees cost a lot of money out here.
Oh yes.
Yes, sir.
Worth a lot of money.
They are.
Yeah.
All right. Good luck.
Yeah,
I appreciate
yeah.
it. And that was 10
Uh,
1910.
1959.
1959.
Thanks, I appreciate you.
1959.
All right.
1959.
Thank you, sir.
Good luck, sir. Yeah, so you see this problem a lot. That's why I knew I was going to guess and then win a prize that it's in the Blackline Prairie. So we're talking shirts, Cibolo, Converse. What's the other ones in there?
So is there.
Live oak. So, and a lot of times the builders planted red oaks, live oaks, cedar elms. The older ones planted silver maple, but fast-growing trees. But a lot of those trees are grown in acid, or are from acid soils. And when they get to our alkaline soils, they just can't handle it. And the visible sign usually is a bright, beautiful yellow color.
Yep, they don't last long. But are we close to it break now, or do we want to talk some more about our...
Close to it. We'll save that for the
Okay.
other side of it, and then talk about all the sales we have going on here at Milberger's. But we'd love to hear from you as well. So give us a call at 210-308-8867. We'd love to hear from you. We're going to be right back with this 4th of July's Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Welcome back to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Give us a call at 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867. And later today, fireworks will be popping off, but we do have sales popping off here at Milberger's, including the Vinca Core series, also known as periwinkles, in a 4-inch pot, regularly $179, on sale $8 for $12. And those come in different shades of pink, white, rose, and red, disease and deer resistant.
deer don't eat them?
Nope.
And very drought resistant.
Another deer resistant, we have purple fountain grass, and then number 3, regularly $24.99, on sale for $16.88. We also have plumbagos in a number 1, regularly $9.99, on sale for $6.88. Also Vitex, also the Texas lilac, in a number 3, values up to $34.99, on sale 30% off.
So what's that, about $22?
Something like that,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, that's quite a interesting plant. It makes a big shrub, or you can prune the heck out of it if you want to. You can make it whatever shape you want. Some gardeners like to prune it way back, and try to get 2 or 3 bloom periods out of it. I guess if you let it go, you can basically get 2 bloom periods. And the pollinators love it. Flowers are attractive for sure. And hummingbirds are like it. It seems to last quite a long time in a landscape too. I've been in our particular neighborhood for 30 plus years, and it's been one of the kind of the dominant plants that homeowners have used. Blue flowers and whatever shape you want it to be. And Mark, we've kind of determined, and I guess in our neighborhoods, it's it's an exotic plant, and in some places it has unwanted seedlings, but hasn't been a major problem for us.
Some folks are have more antipathy against it than others. I've never found it to be a problem.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen it in my neighborhood either. Of course, the last time I said that was for the what is the plant now that that produces the female plant produces all the berries, and it's got a nice fall color and a good
the Chinese pistache?
Yeah, Chinese pistache.
Yeah.
I used to say, well, that never had any history
as I
of producing unwanted seedlings, but I guess it has now.
Yeah. Well, that was always my take. I agree with you. I said, that's an east of I-35 problem. That's not so much here. Then come October, and I'm going, oh, that's not a sumac. That's not a sumac. That's not a sumac. No, they're in the same family, but you can tell the difference.
Yeah, that's another nice addition in a lot of cases. That shape is unbelievable, fast growth, and the berries, the birds love it. Compact plant, and so they like it as a nesting site too. But it does produce a few unwanted seedlings. Or you can pretend you want them and just have to deal with them.
I know before the break you were talking about your article, and I blanked for a bit, sorry, about it's time to start pulling out the tomato plants. Does that include, pepper plants as well, or is they still have
the peppers,
time?
The peppers are growing strong, and they don't seem to have problems with spider mites, at least in my experience in the years of gardening here. But the tomatoes can. But this year, I think we've been pretty lucky. I mean, we got good production now. But typically, we would have spider mites right now. That's one of the reasons why we like to pull them right at this point. Mm-hmm. And if you got any spider mites there, you want to put them in a garbage sack and get them off to the dump rather than put them in the compost pile. But if there are no spider mites on the plants, you just put them in the compost pile and prepare the soil for the next planting, which will be later in July or early August, and then you raise your fall crop of tomatoes. Try to beat the cold weather. You're trying to beat the spider mites in the heat now, and now the next step is to beat the cold weather. Use a lot of the same selections. We mentioned that we got a report from Steve Brown, our weatherman, gardener.
Yeah.
Who is very, very effective at raising tomatoes, and he was his favorite. He did not care too much for the pole big. It was kind of a moderate exclamation, but not in the same league as tycoons and red snappers and thunderbirds. That's another one that I like that he also likes. And of course he likes the BHN 968s and the Ruby Crush. But those are some of those that are very effective for the fall too, because you expect them to get to fruit producing size quickly, and then rather than concentrate on putting more foliage on, they concentrate on producing the fruit before it gets too cold. So that's what the situation we're in right now in terms of the tomatoes. But on the other vegetables, in addition to the peppers, the The tuma are still producing. The cucumbers are still producing. Let's see, what are some of the others that... Can you think of some of the others, Mark, that are still growing strong?
Well, summer's famous for okra, peppers.
Oh, that's true. The
eggplant, southern peas, and I'm gonna get some of these a little bit later. Is the Malabar spinach is out there on the tables? It's not a true spinach, but sure does taste good in the summertime.
And fits into recipes that you would normally use for spinach. Yeah, you're right. That's a good choice. And sometimes we forget about that one. But the other one you mentioned, the okra, I'm amazed the Oscar okra I've grown. And I was waiting for it to get producing fruit. It was only about 4 feet tall.
Yeah.
Then I had a close look, and it's already loaded with pods.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Get them with that size. I can remember having to get a step ladder on that Oscar to get on the top there.
Really, for Oscar?
Yeah.
Or well, what about the one? If you don't grow Oscar and you grow some of those other selections?
Yeah, Carolina Spineless is the other one we recommend.
Then you do need You can't be afraid of heights if you're going to try to harvest some of those.
Maybe it's that other one, or some of those other ones. So over the years, they were really tall, and they've tried to reduce the height on that as time goes along. The plant breeders.
So we're going to get those plants out of there. Also get the weeds when you pull those tomato plants out of there. Pull the weeds in the area. Less of a problem if there aren't any spider mites around there, but the spider mites have a tendency to hide in the weeds, and then you get just a transfer of the spider mites from the spring planted to the summer planted, and that's something you want to avoid. But it would be great if we got some reports on. I think we got to generally ended up with a good production of tomatoes.
I think it was a bit slow, and then late May and June, the production came on.
Went crazy, yeah.
Oh, yeah, let us know. 210-308-8867.
Okay, and I was noticing over here on the refreshed, we got all these rows of lantanas, and that purple lantana is full of blooms right now. It generally is not one we think of as the best blooming in the hottest part of summer. We always think of the new gold and some of these other native lantanas as the ones that do the best in blooming in the heat. But these plants look good over there. That purple flower, and that'll be a favorite. Lantanas will be a favorite pollinator source. The butterflies and the bees, and even the hummingbirds like those lantanas. And they'll be back. They freeze back. Well, sometimes the lavenders don't freeze back. They go if it's a mild winter, they keep blooming.
Yeah, so I always consider them a cool weather lantana, if you will. So you have the red the purple trailing and the white trailing, which is very lovely in the cooler months, and then you can move into the hotter months with the new gold lantana and some of the hybrids that we have here. Again, versions of the Dallas red. One day I ran across, I looked at one that was quite red on the lantana flowers, and I looked at its name, and it was really red. That was the variety name. I said, well, okay, yeah.
Well, ours is right next to the lantanas are the skull caps. What, 2 different colors or 3 different colors? It looks like.
Yep.
Are all 3 of those on sale?
I'm checking. I know I saw them listed. Right now, it's just showing the pink skull caps. They're on sale, regularly $9.99, and a number 1 on sale for $6.88.
Uh-huh. Now that is the plant that we have seen the most action from.
The hummingbirds.
Hummingbirds, yeah, this summer. Is this the summer yet? Yeah.
Yeah, it's summer.
Yeah, so that it's not the brightest colored plant, but very drought tolerant, pest resistant, and again another pollinator favorite for sure, especially the hummingbirds.
And the lantanas as well are on sale, and a number 1 regularly $9.99 on sale for $6.88.
All of them then, huh?
Yes.
Lots of different color choices. You know, I've seen a lot of plantings of a lantana where they alternate the orangish and the yellow, the native and the naturalized version. That's kind of attractive, especially against some of those old rock walls in a neighborhood like mine that's pretty old. And it does do a job for the pollinators, too. So good one to consider. Plus, drought tolerant.
Yeah, it's drought tolerant, low maintenance.
Yeah, once established, they're there.
Yeah, that's why it looks good on those old walls. It looks kind of natural, low maintenance, and very attractive to the pollinators.
What is that over there? Is that a white plumbago?
Yeah.
Wow.
I looked at it this morning, and I was talking to Butch, and before we went on, and all of a sudden we were talking, and then I looked down in mid-sentence. I went, wow, that is some intense plumbago, white plumbago. So I was going to ask, is a plumbago on sale? I don't know.
The blue used to be. Well, so is the white.
Oh, yeah, the plumbagos.
Well, then the next question was, is the white also just included? They just said
It
plumbago?
just says plumbago, clusters of sky blue flowers.
Yeah.
Just says
May or
plumbagos.
may not.
May or may not.
Yeah.
But yeah, plumbagos and a number 1, regularly $9.99 on sale $6.88.
Just
number 1's too, so as
maybe.
well.
Oh gosh, yeah, that's a pretty
if any
spectacular blue.
clarifications, always ask the staff.
But they'll come running up
Yes.
to us if we make a mistake on the air. Regarding money. Anyway, but no, the white plumbago, yeah, they stopped me in mid-sentence. Very outstanding. And I enjoy them. I think they're a little bit better. But you know what? That leads me to something I was working on this morning.
Oh, yeah?
And I alluded to it last week.
You sure did.
Yeah.
Do you want to save that so you have
I
some more
wanted to
time?
say that right till after. We're going to go to a break.
We're going to go to a break.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward to hearing from it.
Well, I'm
Yes.
curious.
Well, okay, out there.
Now, between you two guys and your bad memories, you'll probably forget to even talk about it.
No.
We'll stay on top of things, but give us a call at 210-308-8867. We're going to be right back with Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Welcome back to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
Is it an easy one?
Should be. All right. We just got to talk into the mic so we can hear. Oh, sorry, yes.
Yeah.
I'm just looking to see what kind of
Oh,
St.
yeah.
Augustine
St. Augustine.
grass I have.
It's green.
Thank you.
Well, it's very difficult to tell. What was the one Jerry worked on? Tam. What is it?
Tam mild?
No.
What's the question?
Floratam. That one was easy because it had purple stems. Wait a minute. Are you sure this is St. Augustine?
I assume it is.
Calvin, does this look like St. Augustine? Here, pass it on, John Dan.
What are we trying to diagnose?
Well, what kind of St. Augustine is?
Oh,
And I have another picture, too, that
Yeah.
I can show you, but you can kind of move that around. And
yeah, it looks to me like this reminds me a little bit, Mark, of my landscape. During the drought, it got the San Augustine grass really declined, and especially since it gets quite shady now, and now it's coming back with these the rhizomes and the spreading
Yeah,
plants
the-
everywhere.
Long runners on it.
Yeah. But I don't know what the selection would be.
Can you tell us the age of it? How long has it been in the ground? Or
Why-
how long is the whole?
Why would that make it? Why do you?
Well,
wanna
because
know
in
what
the
kind it
60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, aughts, and what have you, they have they usually put in Raleigh.
yeah, I can tell you the house was built in 1953, but I don't know when
I
that
bet you it's
grass was
Raleigh.
put in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or some other similar one.
Yeah.
But what's the issue in terms
Needing to
of
plant more grass and wanting to
Oh.
make sure that it's
how
I'm
much
getting
how
the
much
same.
shade? How much shade is there?
There's quite a bit.
Yeah,
Here's
I'd-
another picture. I don't know if that helps.
Yeah, I would be.
Do you want to see that?
I'd be leery. Yeah, I would think that you probably have more shade than. I'd be leery to investing any extensive amount in more San Augustine grass, because if you have too much shade, it's not going to prosper anyway. So
Okay.
what we're talking to a lot of gardeners about is considering some of the shade tolerant plants. Dorferualia, the Asian jasmine, monkey grass,
I've
a
got
lot of.
that.
Yes,
Yeah.
as time goes along, the trees get bigger and shadier, and it's less sun for the grass. And even though St. Augustine is the most shade tolerant, there comes a time where even that is just too much shade for that.
Yeah,
that grass.
if you don't have more than 6 hours of sun, you're not going to get a prosperous lawn.
Okay. All right.
So
Thank
yes,
you.
you can do it. And that looks like a very common, very old one. And yes, we have Raleigh here. So you wouldn't miss
could.
it. However,
You could do an analysis, kind of look and see, measure how much shade you've got,
Yeah.
and
Or
then
sun.
do even you could even plant some little areas, tests, to see how they prosper. Now, of course, the rain will make a big difference too. If you got the shade plus drought, then it's even tougher.
Yeah.
But that kind of could avoid spending too much money on it until you're sure that there's enough sun for the San Augustine grass to prosper.
Okay.
But otherwise, you can consider those other. What neighborhood are you in?
Hollywood Park.
Oh gosh, yeah, that's a pretty shady area.
Yeah.
got lots of clients over there.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
All right. Yeah. Kind of look around too. Is
Yeah.
your neighbors, the lawn doing all right?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of my lawn is, but there are patches that are not. So I've been
Yeah.
planting runners and
So St. Augustine is easy to replace those types of areas.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to. You just wonder why all of a sudden you don't have grass in that area. You're
Right.
going, maybe it's shade.
yeah.
I don't think. Well, it could be. It could be a disease problem. But I think it's more of a shade problem. I think
Yeah.
we usually call folks, or when folks call rather, with a little bit of questioning, we find out that it's mostly a shade problem.
And then helped by the drought that we've been having.
Right, right. Okay.
All right.
All
Good
right.
luck. Good luck.
Thank you so much.
Try
Okay.
the experiment patches that, because you'll be able to see if it fills in fast, and then you.
Yeah, then you don't have to spend a whole lot of money.
Good luck.
Thank you so much.
You know, it's a lovely segue.
Oh, yeah?
One of the great ground covers, or one of the options that you can use, is one of my favorites. It's one that's called leadwort, but we don't like that one as much as we like dwarf plumbago.
Dwarf plumbago.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that right over there, Mark? So wasn't it?
No, it's not the Blue Days. I thought it was Blue Days earlier today, but I went and checked. But it is a ground cover, and a lot of times I see it in Almas Park, and then occasionally I have seen it in Hollywood Park. But I was trying to write up and trying to find. I finally found my article on garden style essay. It's red, white, and blue for the 4th, and so by memory I remembered it. If you have annuals and you want to plant red, white, and blue, well, you can't beat the vinca for your red and whites, or pentas for your reds and whites, or the blues are always a problem. So, petunias. Now we have some Laura Bush petunias out there. That'd be good for the blue. But one, and they're not vibrant colors, but you could get your reds and your whites and your bluish purples. Angelonia. You can make a nice big flag.
The display out here looks pretty good on this Angelonia.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, yeah, look at that. Now, I didn't include that
How much
in my article.
is that? Can take full sun and can take some shade too.
Yeah. So it's just the purple is not really a good blue, but you can subsidize that a little bit.
If you squint, it might look
If you squint,
The
hold your tongue.
pollinators like it too.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a good plant.
So, and then the perennials, which was my article, because I always steered towards perennials on my articles. So you've got scarlet or tropical sage. You got autumn sage for your reds, mystic spires, or just regular immediately blue sage for your blues. Your whites, Blackfoot daisy. You can see the Blackfoot daisy right there, right in front of us.
Oh, I see it, yeah.
And then you could use dwarf Aurelia. Or, like I mentioned, the dwarf plumbago. That's blue. Or the Cape. Not so much, but it's a light powder blue, Cape plumbago. So you can think of different. Blues were always a little hard on that one, but perennials, definitely the mystic spires is your blue, and your tropical. One with tropicals or / scarlet sage, and then definitely the Blackfoot daisy is an excellent white.
Yeah.
Anyway, ideas to plant for red, white, and blue for today's wonderful 250th birthday.
Yes.
The Blackfoot daisy is. I always find it a little temperamental.
Okay, why I laugh is, you want to kill it? Water it.
Water.
Now you got to get it started. You got to water to get it established. But there are many, many examples throughout town, both the city and people calling me up, going, what's wrong? What's wrong? Did you water it? And he goes, well, yeah, like water it by hand a couple times a week. And I'm like, well, you just killed it.
Now you couldn't hardly kill the salvias that you talked about by watering them. They do fine. Give whatever you're willing to give me. They say we'll take advantage of and transferred into blooms and foliage.
So anyway, yeah. So I wrote. I said that last week that we would talk about it today.
Yes.
And then in the middle of the week, all of a sudden, out of the blue, pops up in my notifications that article I wrote years ago for GardenStyleEssay.com, an excellent source of information for all your gardening and landscape and saws coupons.
There were, it was in the social network announcing that you had a new Go Gardening article, too. Didn't you?
Yeah. No, I didn't open it up. I saw that John had put it out on there.
Yeah, two different topics. You were bragging.
Those appear on Gardening Volunteers of South Texas website, which is gardeningvolunteers.org. Our Go Gardening videos, fantastic. The host is very handsome and intelligent. And they're on the website.
Did somebody fill in for you or what?
They're on the website for 30 days, and then they go to YouTube. And you can go to YouTube and just put in Go Gardening Video, and you'll see them.
And mostly they're talking about native plants and unusual ideas about landscaping.
Correct. So a lot of times try to sometimes we're there for talking with scientific researchers, and I try to break that down. Also home landscapes that are really different, and saying, yeah, but you could do this on your landscape. Mm-hmm. And we might revisit a couple other landscapes from the past that I remember, or I've heard that they have done an outstanding job redoing their landscapes. So it's basically trying to break it down for viewers to get a little sense that, hey, yeah, you can do this too. We just finished one at a place called Caris Park, which is off of Breeze, and they took the church took an asphalt parking lot and redid it into a playground and put berms on it and a little drainage area. So originally all the rainwater went from the asphalt park onto Breeze and onto McCullough, or North New Braunfels, rather. Now no water leaves the site. No rainwater does. So it's a wonderful example. So that'll be upcoming next month. This month, or this past month, it was Abby's place, I know, Miss Peterson's place. No relation, but one of the greatest examples of xeriscaping that I can put my finger on. So watch it. Go ahead and watch it.
That video is already out?
That one's up.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And we're getting close now to the break
Yes.
time. First half of the show is completed.
Oh, no. Oh, so here's my story. James and Marion give us a holler. So I'm talking with a potential client in New Braunfels.
Yes.
And I was mentioning that, and I said, I'm going to go back through Marion. She goes, oh, well, there used to be a guy who operates a fruit stand. James? It's James.
Oh, wow. Well, yeah, hopefully they can give us a call. 210-308-8867. We got one more hour on our show. We're going to be right back with Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
We're back with Milberger's Gardening South Texas, live from Milberger's Landscaping and Nursery at 1604 in Bulverde Road. Come out to visit or call us at 210-308-8867. That's 210-308-8867. And now back to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
Welcome back to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Alex Escobar with Dr. Calvin Finch and Mark Peterson. Got one more hour in our show, so we'd love to hear from you. 210-308-8867. 210-308-8867.
We mentioned the weeds out there, the pigweed, and we debate about whether the sunflowers are weeds or not. I guess if they're growing where you don't want them, they can be a weed. But they also are real desirable in terms of meeting the needs of the goldfinches and the caterpillars. But another thing that has really showed up at this spring are the sandburrs. They prosper in that drought that we had, the open soil. Lots and lots of places that normally were not sandbur havens turned out to be sandbur havens because they could compete, get full sun, and they, of course, put their sandburs out there and they're ready for taking advantage of moisture when it shows up. I'm thinking, Mark, a lot of those folks that are faced with sandburs did not do an initial sandbur pre-emergent application, but I don't think it would hurt to go ahead and get one of the sandbur and treat it like you did, and go ahead and apply it now, so that you get less. The thing about sandburs is they'll produce a ton of more plants this fall. So it might pay to go ahead and apply something like Barricade or Dimension or one of those that's labeled, one of those pre-emergents that's labeled for sandburs. Now you still have to put up with the sandburs that are already there, and just if you got any pets, they're letting you know that they've got them, and it's going to get worse because they're getting more they're getting drier and more mature, and the sandburs will be sticking to everything. But you might want to consider that. Take a look, and if you got even the wildflowers out there, quite often the coreopsis is wonderful, but there's quite often there's sandburs mixed with the coreopsis. So give that a consideration on applying. What do you think? You think you would?
I saw that in your this week in the garden, a little inset box in your article, and I was thinking about that, and I said, I think I would keep it on hand, and if I knew it was going to rain next week, I would apply it now. So I was just going to just say timing, I think, would be everything, and we expect to have. Historically, we always expect to have some rain around 4th of July, but I would probably do it a week before rain. That's the only thing I would say.
Yeah, you're taking a bit of a chance on whether the timing, if your application does not interfere with the germination, then you've not accomplished anything. So that's one of those decisions you have to make. I'm thinking, though, that there's some landscapes that would be worth the chance to put down that pre-emergence, so you'll have less of a experience with sandburs later in the season. It's only July 1st, basically. So, and let's see, and sandburs are persistent. There'll be a second crop that'll germinate now, and they'll be in August. They'll be producing seeds.
Right.
But and I have to admit that's normally we do not recommend that this is unless you've applied earlier, you did the March application, and so you kept them under control, then you really got you'll really miss out if you don't make that second application. So you keep that in mind. If you're a gardener out there and don't have the sandburrs, but you usually do, but you don't have them because you've applied that early application of dimension or barricade, and certainly go ahead and get that in. You're going to be moaning and groaning along with your little terriers that are whimpering and moaning. Although those terriers sometimes don't do much whimpering, they'll be complaining, and so. But
whimpering is not in their lexicon.
Yeah, that's an issue right now.
Well, I think before you do that, Alex was going to say something. I said, well, but if you have sandburrs, what would you do to eliminate them? I'm leading you on. I'm leading you to this answer.
Well, you got a couple choices. You want to potentially you could try to mow down, except they're still there in the ground if you do that. The other thing is if you've got some kind of I always used to use a piece of carpet.
Yeah.
And go once they reach a maturity when they're brown, the sandburrs are really sticky and sharp. And then if you use some kind of like a piece of carpet, you can pick up a lot of pieces of the pieces, especially in the areas where there's a lot of traffic in your landscape, where your pets go or you go. But that works pretty well in terms of reducing. Doesn't eliminate the sandburrs, but it reduces the frequency of the ones that end up in your feet or in your on your jeans.
Yeah. Well, we have a caller coming in, 210-308-8867. We have James on the line. James, good to hear from you.
Yeah, hey, I got a question about a peach tree.
All right.
I was gifted, or they brought me a peach tree. It's about a 4-gallon. It's called a red skin, and it was pretty dry, so I filled up a 5-gallon bucket with water and put some has-to-grow in it, soaked it overnight, and the leaves that are on it perked up and looked pretty good. It's got 3 scaffolds, and they're well positioned, but 2 of the scaffolds, the little branches, they're about 4 or 5 inches long, are dead on the 2 scaffolds, about halfway up the scaffold. It's called a red skin peach,
which is a good selection.
So I potted it up with I put it in a 7-gallon root trapper grounder and filled in around it with mushroom compost, got it watered. But as far as pruning the dead off, do I need to wait a couple of weeks to see what's actually dead before I start pruning it back? It has 3 scaffold branches, and they're about 7 or 8 feet long.
Well, you could start now. There's no real advantage other than your time on the, or you could wait and do that pruning. You could even wait and do let's see. This is yeah. I keep thinking of this in terms of it being the fall, but we've still got a full summer. But Yeah, at some
Yeah,
point
I'm going to
you
keep
want
it
to
in the
cut those
pot.
off.
I want to keep it in the pot until fall comes rolling around, and then plant it out in the landscape. But I wasn't real sure about the little dead. I guess there's little leaf stem branches. They're about 4 or 5 inches long, and they're dead from about half of the limb all the way to the top.
Well, I wouldn't. Of course, with peaches, you can they respond quickly and repair themselves, so you can do a lot of pruning. But there's no advantage of waiting other than your time. But because you will have more damage, you will have more branches that continue that dying. But you could go ahead and cut off the dead ones. Are not going to get new restore life, right?
There's no Lazarus involved here. They're not going to suddenly come back to life. So,
but I like I like your process of getting them stimulated and take. I think that you'll maximize the survival and recovery of the plant with the kind of procedures that you're following.
So what is the permanent place that you're planting it? So what are you going to do? You're going to put it in a large pot? Are you going to put it in the landscape? Or what are you going to do for that?
I moved it from the 3.5 gallon to the 7 gallon, and then filled in around it with mushroom compost and watered it well. And I'm going to leave it there for a month or so, maybe longer, and do my pruning. And then I was going to select a spot in the landscape for it, probably in the garden somewhere where I can get to it with a hose.
Yeah, it'll be the redskin. I was trying to think of how much cool weather it takes. I mean, the chill hours.
That was my next question, Doctor.
We're probably at the we're probably in you're in a location that's not ideal for the chill hour requirements. It wishes it would consistently get more, but I think that'll be interesting to see how it responds. I suspect you'd get some years when you got enough, and you got some years when it's not going to be cold enough for it to have maximum production.
Well, I think the benefit is that he's out there, and that he may get the temperatures may roll right from Canada down his way, so he may get some extra chilling hours.
Where is he? South of us, right?
No. He's east in Marion, okay. Marion-esque.
Yeah, so
right, James, somewhere out there.
Yes, sir, in the Black Land.
Yeah, that's why I was wondering. So, how are you going to modify the soil for the peach? That was where I was getting at.
Oh,
I can't remember what the chill hour requirement was, but I think we're right at you're probably right at the edge. So you've got a good chance some years that you're going to get some adequate cold.
When it comes to trees, we're double diggers. I'm be 77 on the 7th of July, and we started out gardening double digging. I don't know if your listeners know what that is.
Why don't you tell them?
Well, you take your digging spade and you dig a trench 4 foot long, and then once you get the soil out of that trench, you go with your digging fork at the bottom of that trench, and then you loosen the soil in the bottom of that trench. And then the next trench, you put the soil from that trench into the excavated trench that you've just worked. And you keep doing that until you get done, until you get the area double dug. And that allows the roots for any plants or vegetables to proliferate that modified soil.
Is it a case of mounding or just a case of in the trench, the soil?
The first trench is mounded so you can use it in the last trench. And usually the beds are 4 foot wide. But the second trench, the soil goes from that trench into the first trench, and so forth and so on. But it's real important to get to the bottom of that trench and do your digging with your fork. So you loosen the soil to about 18, 20 inches.
Yeah.
And then whatever you plant in that area, you have oxygen in that soil, which is really important, and you have it modified so the roots of whatever you plant can proliferate that area and utilize the oxygen and the modified soil, loosened soil. It's called double digging. I'm sure the younger gardeners have no idea what it is, but that's the way we started 50 years ago.
Yeah.
Now
that's why you heard me laugh when you mentioned it, and I said, "Yeah, explain that."
Some of us younger people, instead, we would just do a raised bed, a mounded situation there. Seems like it's much easier than. Of course, you have to get some extra soil, but it seems like the exercise is less demanding.
Well, no.
Well, I'll be 77 on the 7th of July, so these garden procedures keep me young. So there is a benefit to the double digging besides just the plants being in a better situation. It keeps the gardener in good shape too.
Yeah, we didn't have to do that so much in Michigan because I lived on the west side of the state, and that's more sandy loam. But I had relatives over in Iowa, and so I knew that one, that double digging. So, yes, if you live in Blackland Prairie or any place that has heavier clay, then that is a good method. Preparation is everything. You do that, and excuse me, good preparation solves a lot of problems down the road.
Yeah, it's pretty necessary where we're at in the Blackland to get the oxygen back in the soil, because after 20 inches of rain, it needs to be dug again.
I was trying to get the chill hour requirements of the redskin peach, but I guess I've lost contact with the internet so far.
I think it's about June Gold is what, 550?
Yeah, June Gold is one that works here.
Yeah,
that's the one I grew in East Texas.
That's a peach I'm familiar with, and that La Feliciano, that's a good peach too. Yeah. But I have no idea what the red skin is. It was just just dropped it off and wanted to know if I could save it.
I think it's maybe slightly more than the La Feliciana. More, but we'll have to get a reading as soon as we penetrate the internet.
But it's
Sounds
not
good.
as much chilling hours as the ones they grow in Fredericksburg.
Actually, the redskin may do all right, and more likely to do all right in Fredericksburg than here, for sure. Yeah, but
Well, it's a nice plant, and I'm going to give it a try.
sounds good. It'll be interesting to follow it. All right.
Okay. Have a happy 4th of July, you guys.
Yeah, same to
You
you.
too. All right. Thank you, James. We'd love to hear from you. Give us a call at 210-308-8867. We're going to be right back with Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Welcome back to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Give us a call at 210-308-8867. 210-308-8867. During the break, Calvin was able to find the chill hours for those redskin peaches. And it was about 750.
Yeah, which is a little high because June gold was, as Mark mentioned, was 550. So it would, in the hill country on a cold winter, it would do all right, but be pretty challenging the other times. I was just trying to figure out where, redskin is one we hear a lot about and has good reputation. So if anybody's had any experience growing redskin in this area, it'd be interesting to hear about it.
So that's what I think. I think when you say this area, that's important. 'Cause I'm thinking it's I don't know. I was thinking it was a little bit further north.
Well, and of course, the hill country and a little further north really makes quite a difference. Compared, this is not the best peach growing area right here in San Antonio area. Even the Austin area is got more chill hours. So, anyhow,
Anyway.
What about that angelonium, Mark? What are those colors of that?
So, as I mentioned before, you could possibly make a red, white, and blue, but they had some outstanding white. You can just barely see it over there. It's kind of low, but it's mostly pink with some darker purples, which I say you could, if you squint hard, you can see it's kind of blue. But mostly they're these pastel colors, and I think they're lovely. It's sometimes known as summer snapdragon because they have a similar shape. But I really think it's a really wonderful plant to have in your garden.
Well, one of the characteristics that we don't always give it credit for is that it's a deer resistant. The deer don't seem to eat it, and let's see, can do full sun, and I think it's even got a little bit of shade tolerance.
Yeah, I think so too. But it's an upright plant. Gives you kind of a different style. You want to mix and match maybe with some other lower growing plants in your landscape. So it's a very nice addition.
Yeah, it makes a nice solid bed, and also it's a kind of a disciplined plant. So if you got a couple of rows of it, really makes a good surrounding for an area too. So yeah, it's something we probably don't use as much as we could and should in the landscape.
There was a movement. I don't know what happened to it, but there's a movement to make that a superstar. I don't know. I wouldn't call it as a superstar myself, but it is a good plant for this area, and it is often overlooked, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
Is that a long process to decide what's considered a superstar?
It's a long process. There's a committee. I believe David Rodriguez is on it. and through different parts of the state. It has to do well in different parts of the state through different weather, various weather. So you couldn't do it in 1 year. Oh, this wonderful plant. No, you have to do it several years. So it is a long-term process.
All right. Well, 210-308-8867. We have the James on the line.
The other James?
The other James. It's good to hear from you. How are we doing?
Fine. The other James. Hey, listen. Let me take you off speaker. I'm sorry. Is that better?
Yes, that's good.
Okay. Hey, refresh my memory. I know we've had a conversation in the past about the Celeste fig. I've been picking figs 1 or 2 a day or every other day for a couple of weeks now, so it's kind of late. Does this Celeste, I've been reading more about figs than I probably should, and I read different things. Does it make a early crop and then
James?
Yeah, we don't read.
I just eat them.
Oh. But does it make a main fall crop? I've read that a couple of different places. It makes a light crop and then a heavy crop later on. And then some other sites say, well, it just produces throughout the summer. So what is your take on that?
Well, I recall that it was kind of the opposite pattern. It was a heavy spring crop and potential fall crop if you had adequate rainfall. But a lot of times it just had those the green unripe figs, and they just didn't get much size and never ripened if it was hot and dry. But other times you get that fall crop.
That was my understanding as well. That the first crop is the heaviest.
Oh gosh, and they were good too.
Okay, well, my first crop wasn't heavy, but, of course, it's only its second year in the ground, so that might have something to do with it.
Makes a difference.
It's a young fig. Okay, so the first crop is heavier than a lighter crop, possibly.
Well, at least my experience it is, yeah.
Oh, okay, and what about watering? I haven't really watered it because we've had the rainfall. I think I watered it once or twice in the spring. Now it's drying out. How often should I water it? Granted, I'm in sandy soil, but it's well mulched.
I've been really happy with my plant's performance and production, and I have to admit that I water it once a week when it's not raining, and
often. Okay.
It was they talk about figs being requiring a good moisture if they're going to maximize production, and I've been using that one a week idea, and that works well.
Okay, I need to water it more often, especially now that it's hot and dry. Okay, and next to it, or not right next to it, but relatively close to it, my Choctaw pecan. I've noticed it's in its alternate bearing light crop year this year, but the pecans are small, and we've had rainfall, and I've supplemented the water, but now they're falling off the tree when they're small. What causes that?
Gosh, I don't know why they're falling off.
I would tell you that it's because of a sudden change. And lots of rainfall, and then you're starting at a long drought period, which we're starting.
What is the
and so the tree aborts.
They're aborting the pecans.
What's the state of the nuts inside? Is there any fruit, or is it just so small?
I didn't open them.
Anything?
No, they're real small, like an inch maybe. And they're still in their casing and still green, so I haven't opened any up. They're just on the ground. Okay, so I watered it real good past 2 days, so I was thinking maybe it's too dry or starting to dry out. So I'll just keep putting the water to it, I guess.
Well, I was going to say, when a tree aborts, it can be too much water, or it can be too little. So, just make sure that it's consistent. If we go through 10 to 14 days without any significant rainfall, then you water.
And gosh, though, they went through that lawsuit, long-term lawsuit a few years ago, and they determined that a pecan tree to prosper actually requires about 2 inches of moisture every week for it to prosper.
Yeah, I dispute that, but
Yeah, it doesn't get that much. I know when we get dry, I just water it very deeply from my well.
You have to give up your showers and water and your figs and everything else to get that much water for a pecan.
Yeah. Hey, can I ask one more quick one, unrelated?
Sure.
The perennial hibiscus, the one that comes back every year, perennial. I have one I planted up near to cover a utility box, and it serves a purpose well during the growing months. Do they require or do better with a lot of water? I thought back in the day, Dr. Parsons says they were like a swamp plant, or is that not right?
I never thought of them as a swamp plant, but to maximize bloom, I think they do need generous water.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the reason why I asked, it blooms. It's really pretty, white flowers with a pink throat, and it's on the east side of an oak tree, so it gets afternoon shade because it wilts when it starts to dry out. Like right now, it's starting to wilt because I haven't watered it yet today. If I don't water it every day, it wilts on me, even though it's getting afternoon shade. So I'm just wondering if I'm not giving it enough water. Once I give it water, it perks up, and it's good till the next day, and then midday it'll start to wilt again, even if I water it every day. So I was just wondering if they really like a lot of water.
No. It will wilt on you even if you give it copious amounts of water. It's in the plant. So I know. So don't worry when it starts wilting. By the next day, it will rehydrate. However, having said that, it likes, what did you say? It likes generous.
Yeah,
like generous amounts of water.
It's not a xeriscape plant.
Yeah. But on the other hand, it's not a swamp plant either.
Yeah.
It's not. Okay.
And always remember the flowers, after a day, they will, depending on the variety, either a day or two, they will go away. They will expand, be pretty, and go away.
These flowers last one day only on this particular one. It's real pretty, Mark. The flowers start out white in the morning, and then by the evening they turn a real light pink.
Yeah,
it's really interesting. I like it. Okay, I was just thinking.
We used to use them a lot more than we do, I think, now. Now we hardly talk about the hibiscus.
Jerry used to talk about a flare, Lord Baltimore series, flare series, and but we don't talk about that as much as we used to.
I used to. I like them too.
Okay,
I don't have any left. I don't have any. I don't even remember.
Right.
I remember 15 years ago when I would, half the containers on my patio would be hibiscus. Now I don't have a one.
It must have been that year, 2021. I think that may have had something to do with it.
That could be.
Check it out. Okay, how large does the compact? Because I put it in a container, and I'm wondering if the container's not big enough or too big. The dwarf, I don't know if it's dwarf or compact, the firebush. What size container is ideal for that, and how big will it get?
I have used, talk about for 15 or 20 years, I've used not quite a half whiskey barrel size, a third whiskey barrel size. I don't know how many gallons that actually is.
Okay,
quite a large. Yeah. And that has worked. That's worked very well for a firebush.
Okay, well, this container is about, if I remember, it's only like a 7.5 gallon. I'm wondering if it's going to be too small. I'll just have to step it up, I guess, in a couple of years. Okay.
That's 20,
all right, so how big
20 gallons would be there.
Will be more ideal. Okay. How big does a plant get in a container like that size? Because I don't want it to be real big.
Yeah, that's one of the neat things about the firebush in those containers. They're a different plant. They're a disciplined, reasonable sized plant. When you got them out in the landscape, they really get large. It'll take a lot of territory. I'm thinking mine I think when I describe them, 3 feet tall and 3 feet around.
3 by 3. Okay, yeah, I'm going to need a bigger container then. Maybe next year I'll put it up. Now, I noticed the one that I have in the ground, which is not the compact, the flowers, it's in full bloom right now. It's doing well. It froze all the way to the ground. It's resprouted. It's about 3 feet tall. It's the flowers are red, which I really like, and what I was expecting red again on the compact, but they're coming out orange. Is that right? The compacts are all orange, or it's kind of orangey red color.
Yeah, well, I don't like those.
Yeah, I don't either.
In the old days, we got the consistently red. Now we get there's 3 or 4 different selections, and they quite often they're an orange or smaller leaves, and I don't know why that was, Mark. I don't know.
I don't know either, but I have noticed that there's something going on.
Okay.
There's whether it's at the production level or what, but the color to me, I agree, seems to be a little bit more orangish, but it may be just everyone's producing the compact before the original,
the standard.
You know, it's just amazing to me too. And if you plant them in the garden, in the soil, they're pretty undisciplined and really will get huge. Whereas you put them in your 20-gallon container, and there's the 3 by 3, and a very disciplined plant, to like 2 different species.
So do they have a compact one that's red? I guess that's what I'm getting at. Or are they all the orange color, the compact one?
Well, I always just got, depending on where you planted it, the red one became a compact.
Okay.
Yeah, it's got a root system that I was trying to remember how we described that root system. It's got the roots. It's determined that growth pattern is determined by the root system, and if it's confined, it forms that 3 by 3. If it's not, it just gets much more a larger plant and wider. Still, that to me, it's not nearly as attractive as that compact plant is.
I like the bigger one.
I like the big one too. I like the color. It's really pretty.
Dr. Parsons used to say there were 2 different ones. I never believed him because, a lot of times I don't believe what Jerry says. No, it says whether he's taken me, yanking my chain, if not. But that also goes to the question we always like to say for botanists, are you a lumper or splitter? Because if
or a what?
A lumper or a splitter. Because just what Calvin mentioned, sometimes you have the same species and you have it at a different microsite. You have apparently a different species. And so that goes on to a lot of times as, are you a lumper or a splitter? So that you will say this other specimen that's grown on rock, that's definitely a different species. And you take the same one and you put it in a different spot, and it looks just like the other species. So
That's been my experience with firebush, the old firebush.
Yeah.
I'm kind of with you, though. I don't like the smaller orange one as much as I like the old red one.
All right. Well, we appreciate your call, James. We do have to take a break at this time, but we do appreciate the call.
Thanks, James.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right. We got one more break for our show today. Give us a call at 210-308-8867. Be right back with Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Welcome back to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Got about 8 minutes left in our show for today, so hopefully time for one more call. Give us a call at 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867.
Mary's busy right now with customer, but I was hoping we'd get time. She reported that she had a monarch butterfly here yesterday, and I wanted to hear whether it was a new hatchling or one coming through. Of course, I just wrote an article and I entitled it "No Monarchs and Lots of Other Butterfly Species" for next week. But other gardeners too have reported. Well, and the monarchs make a practice out of making us all liars, because the minute you say they all migrate, then there'll be a few that hang out, and their behavior is pretty unpredictable. But a lot of times it's I always think that it's people are identifying seeing the queen butterfly, and they think it's a monarch. They're quite closely related, and in fact, the queen will only lay its eggs on the milkweed too. But it's relatively easy to recognize the difference on the caterpillars and on the butterflies once you get used to it. But on the caterpillars, the queens have 3 appendages coming out of their back, and the monarchs only have 2 at one end of each of the body. So, but to me, the caterpillars, the coloring of the caterpillars looks a lot alike. And I saw a queen here today, and of course, Mary does a good job of identifying monarchs too. So,
well, we have a lot of the tropical milkweed that's doing really well, and you can come and get a number one really well. What are you going to say?
Well, and we got the certified butterfly garden, and in addition to the tropical milkweed, the butterfly weed, which is a native milkweed, is booming up a storm there. We a lot of researchers, including Kayada Ajilski, has said that she's never seen the monarch butterfly raise caterpillars on butterfly weed. They like the nectar and everything, but that the foliage is not this potent chemistry that they like. But just to make a liar out of us, when was it? I don't know. Last time there was when all the migrants were here, there was a caterpillar just having a good time growing on the butterfly weed.
Yeah.
So it was the first time I've seen it happen.
And I've seen some outstanding butterfly weed blooming right now in the past couple of weeks. It's been very wonderful.
It's just looks a lot like tropical milkweed. It's not as big, but
it's not as big.
It's got a golden flower, and tropical's got the orange and red flower.
And yellow with a hint of orange, just a hint.
And what else? So there, look like the begonias over there.
Yeah, we didn't talk about the shade plants today, but we got begonias and some impatiens. What else? Did you mention any on the sales list?
No, but we still got a couple that we can skim through right now. We got about 4 minutes left in our show.
We had liripe on that list, right?
Oh, yeah.
Let's see what we got.
Yeah, we sure do.
Caladiums are looking very nice over there.
Still, yeah, they're spectacular. Got that
Yes, liripe.
silver and green, and then the red and green.
Liripe's regularly $8.99, on sale for $5.88.
What is that?
The liripe's.
Oh, yeah.
Or liriope for our other listeners.
They're not shade, but we have red yuccas on sale.
Yeah,
Number 3.
I was going to say, we don't have a whole lot of shade plants on sale, but we have them for sale.
Yes.
And, a lot of different
Hey, Mark,
begonias.
what was that fern that we had on sale?
So we had the sale a couple weeks ago, and I still think it's a great fern. It's called holly fern, and it has thick leathery
looked like
leaves.
A good choice for shade.
So really dense shade. So if you've ever been on the Riverwalk and you see kind of an alcove and you see these green plants, that's a holly fern.
And we still got. Have you had a chance to check?
I didn't look at it, but on my way out, I will look and tell you tomorrow. But I'm sure we have some.
Yeah, and that's one of those plants that would work well for a medium-sized shade plant, just like our Turk's cap and shrimp plant, but that one is even more tolerant of dense shade. So that's a great. Looked great to me. I've never grown it,
but yeah, it's an interesting texture in a shade garden, and a lot of times that's what we're limited to is texture for shade gardens. But we do have lots of shade plants that will provide color, and we have a lot of them here. As I'm looking at the shrimp plants. And some of the red salvia. And what's that? Bat-faced kufia.
Lots of action. And, of course, the pentas. Lots of pentas. Still here. They're very attractive. Now, those sweet potato plants over there. Now, they do very well in the shade.
They do both. They'll do both. So they will climb. I like them because they spread, and they solve a lot of mistakes. Is my point. Oops. I need an open. I got a bare space. Put them in.
I always find that that light green much easier to grow than the red.
I do too.
But they're sensitive to cold, of course. But you can use them. They really look great if they're hanging off the side of a patio. Or,
Yeah.
Well,
are we here?
We're here. We want to thank everybody for listening today. For those celebrating later today and tonight, be careful out there. Be safe. I want to thank you for listening to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Alex Escobar with Dr. Calvin Finch and Mark Peterson.
Happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th of July. We will see you tomorrow on Sunday.